Alright, 5.2. We are going to be doing polynomial division. There's two ways. There's long division and there is synthetic division. Both are useful in different scenarios. For example, in this problem, number 1 in 5.2, this problem is going to be better to do with long division. So I'm going to write down the problem in the way that I'm going to work it out. So whatever is on the bottom, your divisor, that's going to go outside when I do long division. So I'm going to write 3x squared, and then I'm missing my middle term because I'm supposed to have a term with a single x, and I don't have that. So I need to put a 0x as a placeholder, and I'm going to put a plus sign between these terms. So 3x squared plus 0x plus 3. You need to do that to help you keep all your terms aligned. And then in my long division bar, I'm going to write the numerator. 3x to the 4th minus 12x cubed plus 15x squared plus 2x plus 2. Alright, so anytime you're doing this, if you are missing a term, you have to put a 0 there as a placeholder so that everything lines up. Alright, so now we are going to focus on the first term only. Every time we do this, we only focus on the first term. I want to make these two terms be the same sign and everything. So this is 3x squared, this is 3x to the 4th. In order for these to be the same, I would need two more x's, or x squared. So I'm going to put an x squared up here as my first term, and I'm going to multiply each one of these terms by x squared. Okay, so x squared times 3x squared will give me 3x to the 4th. X squared times 0x, that will give me 0x cubed, which is just 0. I just need it to line up. And then x squared times 3 will give me 3x squared. Okay, now once you get all these terms lined up, you now subtract, or you change the signs. So that means this one turns negative. That would be negative, but it's 0. And this would also now be negative. So you're just going to subtract them. These go to 0, cancel out. These two terms become, just stay at negative 12x cubed. And then combine these two terms, so 15 minus 3 will give me a positive 12x squared. And then you bring down the next term, which is plus 2x. Alright, and again, we're going to just focus on the first term and this term. And I want to know, what do I need to multiply 3x squared by so that it equals negative 12x cubed. Alright, so focus on the 3 and 12 first. If we multiply by 4, we get 12, but we need the same sign, so we need to multiply by a negative 4. Alright, and we have x squared, we need x cubed, so we just need to add an additional x. So we get x squared minus 4x. Alright, so we're going to multiply negative 4x times each one of these terms again. Negative 4x squared times, negative 4x times 3x squared gives us a negative 12x cubed. And every time you do this, when you match them up, the first term should be exactly the same. And then 4x times 0 will just be a 0 here. And then 4x times negative 3 will give me a negative 12x. And then we're going to change signs, so we're going to be adding. This becomes positive. This will become positive. And combine these, we get 0 here. This gives me 12x squared. Bring this will give us positive 14x. And then you bring down your last term, which is 2. And then we repeat. So focus on the first term only. 3 times 4 will give us 12, and we both have x squared. Okay, so just a positive 4. Alright, so multiply 4 times all of these. 3 times 4 is 12x squared. 4 times 0 will still be 0. And 4 times 3 will give us 12. We changed the signs. So now this is going to become negative. It's just 0. This will become negative. And this will go to 0. This will be positive 14x. And this will be negative 10. Okay, so we don't have any more terms to bring down. This is your remainder. Okay, so in the problem it's asking you for Rx, that's your remainder, and it's asking you for Qx, which is your quotient. This is what we get up here. This is our Qx. Okay, so you get a function of x. Qx is this, Rx is this. Okay, so the way that you're going to write it down, okay, symbolically, is we're going to write down this quotient part right here. And then our remainder we're going to put over our divisor, which is dx, what we started with. Okay, so in this box I am going to write x squared and then minus 4x and then plus 4. That is my Qx part. Okay, that is this first part right here. Now I'm going to do plus, and then I'm going to do a fraction bar, and I'm going to do 14x minus 10, and that is going to be over your original divisor, which is 3x squared plus 3.